India's list of celebrities runs long, but rarely does one come across a celebrity like Dr. Monkombu Sambasivan Swaminathan, who strived to feed millions of his countrymen and to make them self-sufficient in food grains. Known worldwide as the spirit behind India's Green Revolution, Dr. Swaminathan's sole objective was to end the country's problem of recurrent famines.
Well, I got interest in agriculture. Partly my family has an agricultural background like all our families. At the same time, when I was a student in the University College in Trivandrum in 1940 to 44, I found that the newspapers are full of stories of the Bengal famine, where several million people died out of starvation. And I decided that I must go to agriculture. So start and join the agricultural college at Coimbatore. And then it was part of Madras University in 1944. From then onwards, for the last over 52 years, I've been only in agriculture. Famines were very frequent in India throughout the British rule. In fact, every few years, the British government developed very seriously well-planned famine codes, because every 3 to 4 years. In fact, between 1870 to 1900, although population of India, Pakistan and Bangladesh, we were all part of the same British Empire, we were all together about 280 million. Even then, famines claimed nearly 30 million lives between 1870 to 1900. This is largely because our agriculture was very neglected. It was entirely rain-fed, what we used to call a gamble in the monsoon. Unless rains come, when the rains fail, there was no method. And also there was no research or technology development for food crops. The colonial time, attention was paid to plantation crops like tea or rubber or coffee, but not to rice or to wheat or to jowar or bajra.
His contribution came as a miracle at the time when the entire world had written off India to come out of this miserable state of affairs.
I still recall in 1964-65 we had a very severe drought and conditions were very poor, particularly in Bihar. Fortunately, we had the imported wheat and so on which were distributed, and our voluntary sector took care of relief. At that time, the BBC sent a television crew to make a film called Indian Eyes on the Future. And towards the very end, they came to me after filming the drought in Bihar and so on. Almost it looked like a hopeless case. And I said, if everything goes well, the wheat harvest of 1968 will make a new beginning in India's agricultural history. By a combination of factors, the political will and action, administrative support, extension action, and farmers' own hard work, particularly the Punjab farmers. Farming is in their blood for the Sikh farmers. I would say they are the heroes of the whole revolution. They started this movement with great deal of vigor, the farmers, because you and I can only advise the farmers, help them develop some technologies. But the people who work, toil in sun and rain, day and night, are the farm women and farm men. They are the people who produce the food. We are only supporting them to produce more.
While the lush green fields enthused the farmers, the government opened all avenues of support.
After independence, the government of India gave very high priority to irrigation. That was a very major investment we have made in our country, so that we have now become one of the largest irrigated areas in the world. Secondly, there was the emphasis on technology development for food crops. The Indian Council of Agricultural Research, the agricultural universities and others. Now we decided that if we want to improve production of our country, we must have varieties of crops, food crops like wheat or rice, jowar, which can respond better to soil fertility and irrigation water. Because water together with nutrients and good management, and the farmers do the rest of it. Farmers are very hard working, and once they had the right technology and the right services like seeds, for example, there is no use in saying you grow a new variety if the seeds are not available. So seed production, distribution of inputs, and above all assured and remunerative marketing, that is very important for farmers. Without purchases, just as fertilizer helps the plant, assured marketing is the fertilizer to the farmers. And when all the three packages of technology, packages of services and package of public policies, were all like a symphony orchestra. They all married with each other. Then you find the production went up very fast.
To educate the illiterate farmers with the latest technological know-how, Dr. Swaminathan mooted the idea of setting up Krishi Vigyan Kendras all over the country. These Kendras are in great demand today, and plans are afoot to take them to every district of the country.
We started the Krishi Vigyan Kendra because we wanted to upgrade the technical skills of those who have not had the opportunity of formal education. This is what I called in 1972 as techniracy, or imparting the latest technical skills on the basis of learning by doing, by work experience. For example, an Adivasi woman can make a fish seed by extracting the pituitary glands, injecting them. They are very good with their skills. Therefore, there is no relationship between the ability to learn new skills. This is the purpose for which Krishi Vigyan Kendras were established.
To establish regular communication with the farmers in order to tell them about the latest agriculture-related information, Dr. Swaminathan suggested that the government starts the now famous Krishi Darshan program.
Once the late Dr. Vikram Sarabhai and I went to Srimati Indira Gandhi soon after she became Prime Minister and told her there is so much knowledge in the laboratory, we should take it out to the field. She said, what is coming in the way? We said, you must ask the Information and Broadcasting Ministry to give a slot of time in Doordarshan. She said, immediately she said, you go ahead, and that is how the Krishi Darshan program, which she inaugurated on January 26th of our Independent Day in 1967, thanks to the Doordarshan people.
This was the time when Dr. Swaminathan held the position of Director General in the Indian Council of Agricultural Research. Soon, he rose to become the Secretary Agriculture, followed by the Acting Deputy Chairmanship of the Planning Commission. And now, Director, Center for Research on Sustainable Agricultural and Research Development.
Our major aim is to integrate the principles of environmental sustainability and social equity into all aspects of technology development and dissemination.
He also takes active interest in many other areas. Little wonder then, he had very little time for home and a family.
He has always been a workaholic right from the day one, and spent most of his time on his work. Earlier years he used to spend a lot of time in the field and in the laboratory and come home very late. And then later on, as the nature of his work changed, he began to travel a lot and he used to spend a lot of time away. So the type of support needed also varied a lot, and since I had my own work always, it was certainly very strenuous, especially when the children were young.
This selfless labor for the country got Dr. Swaminathan many awards. However, he still has a few regrets left. The major one being the educated youth's disinclination to opt for farming.
Most of the students who are joining agricultural or veterinary universities are from urban areas, so that you find the number of students after graduation going back to farming, they are very few. They don't have either the interest or the self-confidence to take to farming as a career.
Despite all this, Dr. Swaminathan remains a true Indian at heart. Dreams and visions of such men and women make the country look forward to a bright future.
I'm happy I was born in India. I'm happy I'm living here. I would always like to live only in this country because the challenges are here, the opportunities are here. The nature is so beautiful here. We have been gifted with God, the wide variety of plants, animals, beautiful scenery. And there are great opportunities to make it a great country. There are millions of children, women and men go to bed hungry every evening. I think unless we attack this problem and make India hunger free, I will continue to dream for a day when we have a hunger free India.